All right, so for those of you that have been coming to Adventure a few years, who remembers Sue Smith? She used to be a speaker that we used to have. She did a session a few years ago. It was the same year as the Harley guy. It was called Innovation Roundtable. And in that session, she separated us into about 13 different groups. And we were to come up with a problem that was in our industry and then come up with a solution for it. I think 9 out of those 13 tables had a marketing portal, marketing 911, all different kinds of things that were all related to content sharing. 9 of 13 tables from our industry said they needed some way of sharing content between manufacturers and distributors. Then RepFiles was born, and hence my passion for it. It is that solution that we've been talking about at Adventure for years. So we as the marketing teams really need to embrace this and really need to talk with our manufacturers. I'm speaking from a distributor standpoint here. We really need to explain to our distributors, our manufacturers, why we need this solution. These are all of the vendor apps, not all, this is a selection. We have iPads deployed for our salespeople. All of our outside salespeople have iPads. I control it with a system called AirWatch and MDM. So I can push them apps that they need. This is just a small selection of the number of apps that I've pushed to them. So they have to learn each of these apps, how they work. Some of them require logins. Yeah, I'm asking my as outside salespeople to load as many as 40 to 50 different apps on their iPad. That's taking up storage. They have to learn them. Not every outside salespeople is tech savvy. Some are.
3 people giving 1 presentation, have to move in and out a lot. Okay, so I put that slide in here because obviously the question you all have is who's actually using RepFiles. So here's kind of our overview at this point. We're still new and looking for more manufacturers to sign up. So right now we have 54 manufacturer brands who are delivering content through RepFiles, 13 sales rep agencies, 7 distributors, 2 publications, and 5 outside of the electrical industry. Here's kind of a snapshot of our current customers, so companies who are currently using RepFiles. You'll see a lot of the Hubble brands, Legrand, Pentair, Robroy Industries. I'll kind of go through these a little bit quickly. But one thing to note, if you do not see these manufacturers on the NAED Edition app, they're either 1, just signed up and are getting their content ready, or 2, they've been using the NEMRA edition back from 2011 for a while. There would be no additional cost for them to start using the NAED edition. They just have to put a plugin together and haven't done so yet. Sales rep agency customers, distributors who are using it, and then 10 magazine and electrical wholesaling as well.
So the way that our company uses it, we have 5 different plugins. We have different divisions and we have different levels of team members. So when our executives go to like NAED annual or IMARC annual, they have a large set of confidential information that they need to use during their one-on-one meetings. So they have a special plugin. Each of these plugins are permissioned separately. So I can go in as the plugin manager and I can tell it, of the executive plugin, these are the people that are access to see it. They'll be locked to everybody else in my company. They won't be able to get in. So then our salespeople have a version. Our technology team has their own version because they have files that they need that the rest of the teams don't. We have a Quad Cities plugin because we have a different brand in the Quad Cities than we do in the rest. And then we have a lighting and design team. So I'm able to permission these so that the people aren't overwhelmed with the amount of information when they go into the salesperson app. They don't need the lighting and design files. So we do this to separate the content to make it simpler. So this is an example of what's inside of our salesperson plugin. So our people would click on the salesperson plugin and the first thing they would see is folders. So if you're in the plugins now, you can see that it kind of looks like Windows. Everything's separated into folders and then the content is inside of that. So it's so easy to control this from an admin point of view because it's drag and drop from your desktop to your rep drive, which is all on your computer. And it's all live. So if our line card gets replaced, I simply go in here into the line card folder, I remove the old one and plug in the new one, and it's instantly available to our sales team. So we have things, the manufacturers that we have in here are ones that don't have plugins, or like GE, we have special things for them that's not in their RepFiles plugin. So I'm able to take any PDF, video, web link from any of these manufacturers and drop it into a folder in my own plugin. Then we have the videos. If you put them in the right format, which for iPad is MP4, they'll play right inside of the RepFiles system will open it and play right on the iPad. So we're talking about video in a lot of our sessions, so you can create some of those videos or even load manufacturers' videos in there, and your salespeople can play them right in front of the customer without having to leave to go to YouTube. The nice thing that a lot of our people like is we've heard from the contractors yesterday, they want the salespeople standing in front of them. They don't want them necessarily emailing them things all the time. So if they're in front of a customer, they can show these line cards or spec sheets or videos. Then if the customer wants it in person, he can right there in front of them, email it to them. Then the customer knows that that email's coming, so it's not gonna fall into their junk mail because they know it's coming. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to David from Siemens.
So who here are suppliers, manufacturers? Show your hands. All right, we got quite a few here. So when David was doing his bit earlier this morning and showing the websites and the examples of the websites, did that look familiar to anybody? Yeah, that was my problem, right? Siemens, 350,000 employees globally, great products and solutions, horrible web pages. Very text heavy, very convoluted, and we've been asking our customers for years to pull information out of it versus us pushing it to them so they get it in real time. So that was the problem I was trying to fix. About a year and a half ago, I came across this RepFiles tool from a distributor customer of mine, and I said, that's kind of cool, but I'm not quite ready yet to pull the trigger. During that time, I started building video content via YouTube. I'm using technologies that we'll learn about later on today called Brainshark to build digital training methodologies and trying to get information into my customers' hands, quick, efficient, concise, and easy for them to get access to it versus our web pages. I said, now's the time to pull the trigger on RepFiles. So with the RepFiles tool, I've been able to consolidate all of this marketing content into a single plugin for my external customers. So if you were to go on to RepFiles now, you'll see something called Siemens Channel Marketing. And in there, you'll find everything from our catalog to wiring diagrams via product to video to podcasts that I do, drawings, submittals, a little bit of everything in a folder-based system that is in real time. So I update it once a week, maybe once every 10 days with new content. I work with my product managers on the inside so that whenever they have a new product rollout or a new change in a SKU, they go ahead and update the drive automatically, and it updates to our users in real time. We've had an amazing amount of positive feedback and success with this RepFiles tool as a way to get this information out in a pretty easy format. So Jessica asked me to talk about plugins, and what are these plugins that we're hearing all about? They're the folders that you keep information for a particular audience. So right now I have 3 current plugins. One is an internal one that we use for training, calling it Power University. So we have all of our training from our low voltage products, medium voltage products that all our sales personnel can get access to. PowerPoints, video, selection application guides, things of that sort. So you can set it up internally to do your own training for your people. We have the one that's out there for all of our channel partners to get access to. And essentially what happens is you notify them that it's out there, they go to their app store, Google Play or iOS, download the app, and then I get an email saying so-and-so would like to get access to the drive. And then it's a simple yes, and they're on their way. And then the last one I do, that's my alter ego right there. You probably can't see the picture that well. That's Dr. Tony Lake. He's a motivational speaker for our sales team to get them motivated to learn about our marketing and to get them to kind of engage a little bit more and make it fun, right? We can have some fun with it. So I have an internal one that focuses on more pricing, NTA analysis that we do that we don't really want to get out to the world. What we are starting to do, and where I think as a manufacturer and supplier this is very important, is that if you're looking to sign on with a new channel partner, okay, you're trying to get engaged with this channel partner, give them a little bit extra in order to entice them maybe to sign up with you, you can create individual plugins just for that channel partner. So if ABC Electric is interested in doing business with us, I can talk to that area sales manager and say, hey, you know what, Brian, I'm going to set up this plugin just for ABC Electric, focus on the products that are important to them in their market, focus on their promotional activities, focus on all these things that make them feel warm and fuzzy, put it into a plugin, put their name, put their logo on it, and then shoot it off to them. And now they have this complete access of all the things that are important to them for what's in their backyard. We're doing that for a couple customers now. We also use it for promotional activities too. Hide little Easter eggs in the plugin, and if they find it, they win a t-shirt or a hat or some other type of tchotchke. But also getting the word out on promotions that are going on within a given territory. So I can't speak highly enough about it. I think for the cost, and I don't know if we're talking about the cost right now or not, maybe later on with Jessica later, but the ROI on this is over and above what my expectations were. It's relatively inexpensive to get involved in, and because you can have all your content there, YouTube videos, you get extra views. I've actually had a customer tell me at a meeting that because I used RepFiles and I was able to watch your power mod video on YouTube, it helped me go over the edge between Siemens and the other guy versus whether I wanted you for our multifamily metering project. $110,000 order that, I'm not naive enough to think that RepFiles or the video itself did it, but it helped that person make that decision when we were kind of at that tie. So that's some pretty good ROI for the cost to get started. So that's all I got.